Well, good afternoon. Today we are going to make sourdough bread using the sourdough starter that I started ever how long ago it was. I don't remember. Uh, I've gotten everything prepared ahead of time, and so we'll go ahead and start. Okay, now we'll start with 1.5 cups of sourdough starter. Now this morning when I got up, I added about 1/2 cup of flour and about 1/2 cup of water to the starter, and it's real thin. And it's got a nice aroma to it. Okay, pour it out. Do 1.5 cups. We set this aside. Okay, starter goes in. All right. Next, I need to make sure I have the directions here. Okay, 1.5 cups of starter, and then 3/4 cup of milk, which I have right here. It's plant-based milk. You can use whole milk or whatever kind of milk you want. This has 3 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and it calls for 2 tablespoons of Blue Bonnet Margarine. And I'm using Crisco shortening. Put that in. Make sure I get all my stuff out of there. Okay. Just, I guess maybe I ought to plug this up. It's like I seem to forget something always. Okay. Blend it a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to put in my yeast. It calls for 1/4 cup of water and a package of yeast. So I used a tablespoon of yeast. And I'm using my Bosch. I hadn't had this thing out in such a long time. I mean, it used to stay on my counter. I used it at least 5 times a week. Okay, now it calls for 5 to 6 cups of water. Flour. We'll start off with 2 cups. Sprinkle it around. Add in 2 more cups. Okay. And the flour I'm using is unbleached all-purpose flour, Kroger brand. Okay. Let me measure out 2 more cups. And it does say 5 to 6 cups, so we'll just see how it. Let me add in maybe a cup. Okay, all the flour that was around the edge has been pulled away and into the dough. Now with this Bosch, which I've had since 1990, and it still works. The idea of the Bosch is that you can make bread and not have to use a second rising, because the way that it kneads it, it doesn't have to have an extra rising time. So I'm just gonna get the dough in shape. I'll pause the video, and when it's ready, I'll come back. Okay, now I let it work for like about 5 minutes. I want to take it out of the bowl, move the Bosch out of the way. There's the dough. Let me sprinkle a little flour on the counter. And okay. Okay. It feels soft, pliable. Okay, I'm just going to get it, kind of shape it so that I can divide it. It's supposed to make three round loaves, or let me see, what do the directions say? Just says makes 3 loaves. You can either have a free form or round loaves. So I think I'll do round loaves. And just pinch off some there. Set that aside. And I've been fighting the ants today. So if you see me slapping the counter, you'll know why. And I do have my oven set on a warm setting, because that's where I'm going to put these loaves. Okay, sprinkle with a little. And it says to give it some crisscross. I don't have anything real sharp. And I'll put it on my baking sheet that I've already greased up. And the reason I use the shortening instead of the Blue Bonnet Margarine and the plant-based milk was so that I could share some of this bread with my daughter, who is vegan. And you know, it's not an inconvenience, you know, to make it vegan. So that's what I chose to do. Okay, there's another loaf. There's an ant. Oh. I mean, I grew up in this house, and there was always problems with ants. They just love living here. Okay, let me score it. You'll see how that does. And the last loaf. And we'll see if this turns out, you know, if I didn't have my milk too warm, or the, you know, water from my yeast too warm. You know, Paul Hollywood, he says don't use warm water, just use regular water. Takes longer, but you know, most people are impatient. And that's how I grew up making bread, was using warm water. Okay. There we go. 3 round loaves of bread. So I'll pause this because it'll take a little while to rise, and then after it does rise, I'll bring you back. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. It's been 40 minutes that the bread has been rising, and I'm going to test it to see if it has risen enough or does it need to rise some more. And I'll do that by pinching in. Okay, it's staying. When you put your fingers on it and do a little indentation, if it stays, then it's ready to bake. So I'm going to turn the oven on, and we'll put it in, and I'll be back. All right, here we go. It smells good. Let me lift it up here. Yeah, it's real brown, which I don't mind. But like I say, my bottom burner does not work. So my top burner does. But anyways, okay. Now, you should let your bread cool before you cut into it. But who says I go by the rules? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Let me get a knife. All right. Let me cut off a piece here. Ooh, look at the steam coming off there. It looks like it rose pretty good. There's no doughiness at the bottom, which tells you that it did rise. Oh my. Let's see. Let me take a little. Ooh. Oh yeah, that tastes real good. So, as the weeks and months go by, as that sourdough starter becomes aged, the flavor in the bread will start to change a little bit, and it'll have a deeper flavor to it. But I'm pretty happy with this. Oh my. Slice that up, use it for a sandwich, or have some for breakfast. Now, I did say I was going to share this with my daughter. But, you know, I really love bread. But I guess I'll share it. Alright. So, it'll be several days before I make another batch of bread. And I'll be looking into what other kind of things can I use the sourdough starter for. I mean, you can use it for muffins or making pancakes or, you know, making different kinds of bread. And it's not real heavy. Oh, I'm very pleased. You know, the bottom's not real brown, but you can understand since I don't have a bottom burner. But, and I want to share, in the next video that I do, I want to share twice baked potatoes. I bought a big bag, I think it was a 10-pound bag, of baking potatoes, and they were huge. Oh, they were so big. I mean, one potato was enough for 2 people. So yesterday, I baked one of them in the air fryer, and I was thinking I didn't have my air fryer set right, and it only cooked for 45 minutes. I checked it, and the potato was done. And by that time, I had already picked something else out to eat. So what I did was take the potato and made twice baked potatoes. And so this afternoon, I was getting kind of hungry. So I put the other half of the twice baked potato in the air fryer and heated it up, and it made a nice lunch. So next video we'll do twice baked potatoes. So I hope y'all will try, you know, either making sourdough bread or any kind of bread. And oh, it smells so good. So nice. Alright, well, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a good evening or good afternoon. And please be kind to someone. You know, give a little smile to somebody. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye.